Hello, I'm David. Welcome to our channel.
Hello, I'm Sophia too. I'm happy to be at your service today, my dears.
Today we are doing a deep dive into a film that really burrows deep under your skin. It's a psychological study kind of masquerading as a thriller.
That's right. We're talking about the 2018 film The Clovehitch Killer, directed by Duncan Skiles.
And the premise, it's just terrifyingly domestic, isn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely. This deep dive really focuses on that core question. What happens when your perfectly normal dad, pillar of the community, scoutmaster, turns out to be a notorious serial killer, active for decades?
It's potent stuff. Even Stephen King thought so. He called it, what was it, unbearably suspenseful.
Mm-hmm. And warned it was not for the faint of heart, which is fair warning.
High praise, definitely. And the film really sets out to just dismantle that whole perfect white picket fence idea.
And it leans heavily on the cast to do that. You've got Dylan McDermott as Don, the dad, who seems, completely flawless on the surface.
Right. And then Charlie Plummer is Tyler, the son, who basically stumbles into this absolute nightmare.
And Madison Beatty plays Cassie. She's the local kid who's kind of obsessed with the town's dark history.
So let's set the scene a bit. The location, the context, it's crucial here.
It really is. The film drops us right into very white, very suburban America, specifically a Kentucky suburb, small town, deeply religious vibe.
And this town has history. It's been living under the shadow of the Clovehitch Killer for, what, a decade?
Yeah, a cold case. And the name Clovehitch comes from the specific knot, the actual Clovehitch knot he used on his victims. Very distinctive.
And the horror, it doesn't start with a bang. It's subtle. Tyler, played by Plummer, he's not out hunting monsters. He's just a high school kid.
Exactly. His
Yeah.
world just implodes, not because he witnesses a crime, but because he finds evidence.
In his dad's truck, right, in that padlocked shed, he finds these incredibly disturbing photos, bondage material.
And what's really twisted is that finding this stuff, it immediately puts Tyler under suspicion in that small town.
Right. He's trying to square the dad who teaches him knots and survival skills with this awful stuff he's finding in the crawl space.
And at the same time, he realizes the community's looking at him like he's the pervert. It's a terrible position to be in.
And this is where the film gets truly chilling, because it connects to something real.
Mm-hmm. The fictional Clovehitch Killer is definitely rooted in a real-life boogeyman. Dennis Rader.
BTK.
BTK, bind, torture, kill. Rader murdered 10 people around Wichita, Kansas between 1974 and 1991.
And what makes Rader such perfect inspiration for this kind of story?
Is how completely normal he seemed, how he embodied that idea of rock hidden beneath the perfect suburban surface.
He wasn't some drifter. He was a husband, a father.
Church council president,
Yeah.
a compliance officer for the town.
And crucially, just like Don in the movie, he was a Boy Scout troop leader.
Exactly, the perfect neighbor, hiding this monstrous double life for decades. In plain sight, it's terrifying.
It probably explains why the film makes a specific choice about violence.
Yes, absolutely. We should stress this. It's not a movie focused on the kills or gore. It actively avoids being, torture porn.
It's deliberately slow, psychological. It's about everything around the killer.
The family dynamics, the denial in the community, the sheer audacity of that double life. That's the focus.
And that concept, hiding in plain sight, it connects perfectly to the casting, particularly Dylan McDermott as Don.
Oh, completely. His transformation is remarkable. The director, Duncan Skiles, apparently hesitated.
Yeah, I read that. He thought McDermott was maybe too Hollywood handsome, worried he wouldn't look authentic.
Right, like a real middle American dad.
But McDermott just erases that. He physically transforms the dad clothes, the khakis, the slightly awkward polo shirts. It's incredible.
And the performance is so controlled. He masters this persona of the killer with a code. Not a moral code, obviously, but a code about appearances.
Family unity, politeness, personal privacy, above all else.
And it creates this constant, deeply unsettling tension. Like the film is full of these moments that show the sheer dichotomy of Don.
These moments of dark, almost uncomfortable humor.
Yes. Like when he's giving Tyler these really stern, detailed lectures on gun safety rules.
Well, secretly, he's planning to build a hidden torture dungeon.
Ugh.
The juxtaposition is jarring.
Or that truly chilling moment later on, Tyler catches him like mid-preparation for murder, and Don's first reaction.
To scold Tyler for being nosy.
Exactly. He uses the language of a concerned dad, privacy, boundaries, to cover his tracks, to control the situation. He's always performing that role, the awkward but well-meaning patriarch.
And the way the film is shot, the cinematography, it just reinforces that feeling. Danger, hidden by suburban calm.
Luke McCubry did the cinematography. Lots of tight framing, these really slow push-ins on the camera.
It makes spaces that should feel safe, the home, the truck, that shed, feel incredibly claustrophobic.
And Don himself is often staged, in silhouette, casting this ominous shadow, even though he's supposed to be this community leader figure.
The sound design, too. It's quite clever.
Oh, brilliant. It deliberately uses that kind of suburban white noise.
Like lawnmowers, right? Or commercials droning on the TV. Distant dogs barking.
Precisely. And it layers that sound specifically to sometimes drown out something awful. Like, in one scene, the sound of a woman screaming inside this perfect-looking house is almost masked by the everyday noise outside.
Wow. So the message is kind of, this whole idyllic setting isn't just a facade, it's actively muffling the horror.
Making the community, in a way, complicit through willful blindness or just not noticing.
So as the story progresses, it stops being a whodunit, really.
Yeah, pretty early on, both the audience and Tyler strongly suspect Don. The real conflict shifts. It becomes about Tyler's motivation.
About denial. The extreme, painful lengths a kid might go to avoid confronting the truth, just to protect his family's, emotional stability.
And that's where Cassie comes in, Yadison Beatty's character.
Right. Tyler needs help figuring out the evidence, and she's the local expert, the outcast kid who's obsessed with the Clovehitch cold cases.
But then we find out her interest isn't just academic. She has a much deeper personal stake. Well, the Clovehitch Killer was known publicly for 10 victims, but Cassie reveals there were actually 3 more unlinked murders, and her mother was one of them.
Oh, wow. Okay, so she's not just some true crime enthusiast.
Not at all. She's hunting for vengeance, for justice for her mom. That's her real agenda.
Now, looking at how the film was received, some felt it. Maybe skimmed over some potentially deeper themes, focused more on the plot mechanics.
That came up, yeah. One area mentioned was the aftermath, the heavy inherited guilt for the family left behind.
Especially the mother, Cindy, played by Samantha Mathis, and the sister, Susie.
Right. What happens to them? The financial fallout, the emotional weight, the public shame. Critics felt that once Dawn was dealt with, that aspect was largely unexplored.
And there was another point of critique, wasn't there? About the sexual material Tyler finds.
Yes, the bondage photos. They're the trigger for Tyler's suspicion, obviously.
But the criticism was that the film draws a very straight line, maybe too simple line, between things like S&M or bondage and actual sexual violence.
Exactly. It potentially conflates the two. And many felt that was disappointing because it lacked nuance.
It risks kind of demonizing behaviors that, for many people, are consensual and harmless and completely separate from murder.
Yeah, it felt perhaps like a shortcut to just establish the killer's deviance rather than a deeper dive into his psychology.
Okay, so moving towards the end, the final act, it uses some clever storytelling tricks, doesn't it? Non-linear elements.
It does. Don gets desperate. He tries to frame his own brother, Rudy, who's vegetative, for the murders, to protect the family name.
And Tyler, he seems to go along with it.
For a moment, yeah. Exhaustion, maybe self-preservation. He makes a show of leaving for scout camp. A perfect alibi.
But he doesn't actually go.
No. He stays behind, secretly stalking his father, and he sees Don starting to unravel, starting to kill again. Chillingly.
Which sets up the final confrontation. Tyler and Cassie track Dawn to another woman's house.
And there's that darkly funny yet disturbing detail. Don is tying up his next victim, and he actually complains about his bad back.
It's those mundane details mixed with the horror. The scoutmaster worried about his lumbar support while committing an atrocity. Just awful.
So Tyler bursts in. With a rifle, the showdown we've been building towards.
And there's an interesting power play immediately. Dawn knocks Cassie out.
Right. Then he uses that fatherly authority, maybe Tyler's shock, to convince Tyler to hand over the rifle.
He takes it, aims it right at Tyler, pulls the trigger.
And nothing. Tyler had unloaded it. Smart move.
A struggle follows. Dawn gets the upper hand.
But Cassie wakes up just in time, grabs a lamp, hits him, incapacitates him.
Which leads us to the ending. The really divisive part.
Tyler and Cassie kill Don.
But they don't just kill him, they stage it. Meticulously. To look like a suicide.
It's a profoundly dark choice. Some saw it as smart strategically. Others felt it didn't quite ring true dramatically or morally, obviously.
They choose to protect the family from the truth, the shame, the inherited guilt. It's a terrible kind of closure.
Yeah, irreversible.
So, this deep dive really shows how a film like The Clovehitch Killer can take the horror of real life, like the BTK story,
Mm-hmm.
and use it to tell a story that isn't really about the violence itself. It's about something quieter, maybe more insidious.
Like the suffocating nature of domestic denial and
Yeah.
the devastating cost of keeping those kinds of secrets hidden in plain sight.
Yeah. And the film leaves you with a really disturbing question, doesn't it?
It does. How many people out there, people who seem completely normal, the scoutmaster, the church president, the friendly neighbor, are actively hiding some horrifying other side just to keep up appearances? It's unsettling to think about. Thank you for joining us today, and goodbye.
Stay tuned for our next video, so in order not to miss our next video, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell next to it to be notified of our next video. And if you liked our program today, like the video.